go. I can't believe it's working. Welcome back to the channel. I can't believe I've been consistently doing it for the past year. We're gonna have to do it again. Hopefully, I would be consistent and will be able to upload by the end of the year. So it's time to go over all the dramas I've watched in the past month, which is January 2026. And I'm trying a new format. Editing is such a chore to me and I always dread it. And I hope this will cut down my workload. Right, I don't have to download that much pictures anymore. Update, I also made a drama. It's not just dramas, but everything I've watched tracker, or every content I've consumed tracker, and it just counts how many dramas I've watched, if I completed it, dropped it, what my rating is, how much episode I've watched. Well, this should count, but oh well, I'll fix that later. And then look, it also has the little posters. I'm also counting the variety shows I've watched, the anime, books, and the Hollywood series. And this is my February list. I'm watching this Brazilian, is it a TV show? I don't know, a drama series TV show, which is a first for me. The setup reminds me of when I first started this lists. It feels very nostalgic. Anyways, let's start. All the dramas that I'm going to mention will be linked down below in my drama list. Just go in that specific month and you'll see the full details if you want to. Alright, first, The Glory. I watched the beginning half and then dropped out, and then I've watched the last 6 episodes, so I feel like I watched around 20 episodes of the drama, and I already made a review of this drama. It was unscripted, so it's a little bit of a mess, but if you want to go and watch to get like the full unfiltered unscripted review of this drama. To summarize, I thought the last 6 episodes were much more fun. It felt really detached with the rest of the drama, at least the first half, which felt like I was watching 2 different dramas. The costumes were really pretty. I gotta admit, it was so much better in the still pictures. I don't trust them anymore because the pictures or the posters don't always reflect what the style or the look of the drama will be. Acting, at least it didn't pull me out of the drama, but it wasn't the best. Next is Positively Yours. I was looking forward to the drama because I like the male lead in Miss Night and Day and the female lead in Mad for Each Other, but maybe it was too early to judge, but I just couldn't move past episode 1. I did stick through watching episode 2, hoping that it would get better, but it did not. To be honest, I did not get what the whole fuss and what the hate was when the casting was announced with these 2 actors, but now I get it. Now I get it. They do feel kind of old for the storyline, nor do they have the capability to pull off comedies. You know what I'm saying? And I know the story was adapted from a well-loved manhwa, which has a sizable fan base, but the concept of the drama is not new. And there are better ones out there that tackle this topic really well. For this drama, it felt childish. There was nothing unique or really special about the drama, so I was not gonna waste my time watching this. I can't even hate watch the drama. It was so boring. For this one, let me just say that for me, fantasies and sci-fis are really hard to get into just because the production and the actors have to do a good job in convincing me that the setup and the background and everything else is possible, that they make sense, that they're grounded in reality, and that it has rules for its existence. And I think this was really hard for me to get into. Oh my god. Have you guys seen the teleportation scene in this drama? I'm sorry. And I also don't get like the inconsistent pink hues around like at the edge of the screen for the majority of the drama. I thought they appeared when the female lead was on screen or when the fantasy element is at play, but it's so inconsistent that I can't figure out the pattern or what that really means if it's just there for the sake of being there. And how the female lead says her lines sounds very awkward to me. I know this is kind of outside her comfort zone or what the audience is used to seeing her play. I think she is trying to widen her range. Oh, my alien socks. I think what she is attempting is right. She has existed for maybe thousands of years and she thinks she's above everybody else. And we have seen other actors and actresses do this tone of acting before with dialogues that are not everyday style of how people say sentences and words. But for some reason, for me, it sounds very awkward, like I said, and I think she's having a hard time pulling it off, at least in my perspective. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound very natural to me. Of course, it isn't because that's not how she normally speaks at all. But as an actress or an actor, it's part of your job to portray that character convincingly in the posture, in the tone, and the mannerisms. I don't think they can really fault me for faulting her. For that. And as for the male lead, he's fine. I know he's one of the rising names right now. I haven't really seen any of his dramas, nor am I gonna stick around for this drama to find out. Sorry. Shine on me. Okay. The chemistry was there. I found them really, really cute. How many episodes was this? I felt like this was really long. It was 36 episodes, which is longer than most contemporary dramas these days. And I feel like there was a pacing issue just because it was so long. I feel like this could have been better if it was 24 episodes at most. And take out most of the ski resort scene, yeah. I also feel like the supporting roles could have been. I have shiny knees. Let me do that. And they could have been more active in the present timeline and created more obstacles for the main two leads because I felt like the leads were really secure. Once they decided to be together, there's no stopping them, which, is good. It's great. There's no irrelevant obstacles. But with how many supporting casts they chose to include in the drama, some of them were just there. Felt like it was just taking up screen time. The Office PDA was an overkill for me. I love affectionate scenes. I'm a working woman now. It is a ick. I just cringe so hard. I also did like a unfiltered, unscripted review of this drama. If you want to check that out, you can. Go ahead. That one is also very confusing and all over the place. I felt like the first case set up really high expectations for me. It was a unique case and was resolved in a very unique manner. But the middle ones were just a little bit too much and used a lot of coincidence to solve the problems of the case, like the disabled kid that wanted to sue Jesus. It was a very interesting concept and plot, and they managed to find an address to deliver the subpoena or notice that they're suing Jesus. The details in the case were a little bit too coincidental. The chairman of the foundation that wouldn't abort the child when the mother wanted to was actually playing with the kid in an online Go website, and they're actually familiar with each other. Like, that's too much of a coincidence. And I really like the actors. Chung Kyung-ho, he's always reliable. Cho Soo-yeon, I really liked her. I first discovered her in some online YouTube drama series that they did, and then she moved on to weekend dramas, and now she's already establishing herself in the drama world in lead roles, and I'm so happy for her. I liked the chemistry between the casts too. I like the arc of the main team in the story. It made sense and it was consistent. I liked that there wasn't a romance between Chung Kyung-ho's character and So Ju-yeon's character because the ex-girlfriend played by Lee Ju-young's character existed, but I wouldn't have mind if there was a romance between them because there were moments. I liked how the last case went down too. It might have been dramatic, but it fit his style of doing court cases. This definitely has a next season potential. So I am looking forward to it. Oh my god. I think one of my favorite dramas of this month and probably will be for the rest of the year, and I would probably rewatch this. This is a romance drama. The chemistry, two good looking leads. Like visually, they look great. And the characters also made sense together and felt like they were just meant for each other. The chemistry was great. Did I tell you? Ow. Ow. About my background? Oh god. Oh shit. Look. Oh my god, they are such a good looking couple. I am so obsessed with them. I have 3 settings where they're the wallpaper. I mean, it's just so brilliant. And look at it when it moves. Oh, not this one. Oh, the photo shoot they did with this concept, she's so pretty. Anyways, they did the lovey-dovey scenes of the new couple really well, and I think it was so natural, and it was kind of the most natural from all the recent romance dramas I've watched. Oh my god, Chen Xingxu in his Republican clothes settings look. His Republican setting fits were just brilliant. I have never been taken by like a new actor like this before. I thought I'm done obsessing over like individual actors, but oh my god. And Liu Xiao, oh, just so pretty. I think she has one of the most unique auras in C-drama land. She actually feels like a K-drama actress instead of a C-drama actress. She just has that natural, lovely charm. I've been rooting for these two early on in their career, Chen Jingshu, from when I first saw him in Goodbye My Princess. Unfortunately, his next few dramas weren't that great and I haven't completed any of them, but recently Love on the Turquoise Land, Love Between Lines, and other one that aired right after this. Just I hope he gets this level of scripts more, at least on the average. It's not great, but it's not bad either. The other ones were just boring. And Lu Xiao, I have first noticed her in My Journey to You, and oh my god, she, I think, outshined everybody in that drama. She had just a unique presence there, and she acted her character really well over there. But then the next few dramas she was on, it was for me. It wasn't that interesting. But this one, her next ones are also interesting. I didn't watch Love in the Clouds because the actor that played in Glory was the male lead on that one. I wasn't a fan of his acting. Before this drama, Liu Xiao's acting was a hit or a miss for me too. So I didn't bother, but maybe I might check that out next. If I have criticisms about this drama, it would be at least I wish that the leads had separate spaces on their own. Some parts of their lives that's only to themselves and not together. Maybe it's because of my own personality that I like space I need something independent on my own. For me, it's definitely watching dramas. But for this couple, they were involved in everything together. They play the immersive game together, they work together, and on top of that, they live together. Their traumas and tragedies and personal problems are also kind of sort of related. I wish they didn't add that plot line. It was too much for me. Like, they needed to exist separate from each other in the drama. I needed them to have their own personal spaces and things that they did individually that didn't involve each other. And I wish they gave us more time with the second couple, which means shorten the time that the second female lead and her ex-husband spent time together. Is it hard to just divorce the two of them already? It took forever for them to separate, and we only had so little time with the second lead couple. And their story was actually really sweet, and I really liked the two of them together. And I wish they balanced the fictional game world and the real world, especially in the middle and the later half, and have the conversations that they have a hard time having in the real world and have it in the fictional world where they can wear a mask and pretend that they're not talking about each other and the problems that they have. I really, 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 really enjoyed this drama. You can see my rating over here. It was an 8 out of 10. I watched this drama because of Seo Yeon-jin, who is one of my top 5 Korean drama actresses, and I always look forward to her projects. This drama is a little bit difficult for me because the themes and the topics that the drama tackled kind of reflected my life. It tackled the topics of grief, the difficult family situation, and the topic of loneliness, and it was very well done. I liked the subtle daily life humor that they put in between the heavy scenes. I really appreciated that. Most memorable would be when they were driving back from visiting their mother. No, not visiting. Like, wherever their mother was, they were on their way back. Then the car fell in the ditch. That was funny. It was going into a confusing turn when the mother of Daniel, who is the female lead's boyfriend's son, appeared and caused all the mess. But I was persuaded by the drama's explanation of her behavior and realized that there are people like that in the real world. I was really convinced in how the drama set it up. And I really liked the moment when she realized that her and Daniel were in the same situation when her father's girlfriend came and apologized for being in a relationship with her father really soon after her mother died. And when she realized that what she's feeling is what her boyfriend's son is feeling, it was so well done. It felt sad that the female lead's father had to go through that whole ordeal again, having a sick partner. Like, why did they have to do him like that? Like, why can't they give him a happily ever after? Is it that hard? And I really liked the couple. They were paired a stranger before. I really loved their story over there, and I liked their pairing and story until they gave her early dementia diagnosis. I'm like, not again, not again. Oh, I also liked the priest character and how he has to deal with listening to the ridiculous problems of the main family and his outburst and having to listen and telling them to just go do it. Do whatever you believe in and what makes you happy. And I really liked the ending. I think they wrapped up the drama well, and they are such a nice blended family. Oh my god. A very controversial drama. Oh god. I actually really liked the couple. They had a good chemistry. They were both good looking. The characters suited each other. Hence the good rating, 8 out of 10. I liked that they built up Torami and didn't just introduce her personality coming out like at episode 3 or 4, but built the process of mental illness coming out in the real life, which I didn't expect. It didn't say in the description of the drama nor in the trailer that this personality would come out. So it caught me by surprise. But I wish we saw more of her and found out what her actual purpose was. You know, if you watch other dramas with this concept, you would know that the other personalities would like to take over and make the main personality disappear. But we never knew what Torami's purpose was. I wish we saw more of the healing process. I think most of us who've seen the drama would have agreed that she needed to see a therapist. Like in Kill Me, Heal Me, the female lead was a psychiatrist and they were in that healing process together. I've seen enough of this drama that I know it's not that easy for Torami to disappear. And I wish there was a clear visual difference between Torami and what's her main character's name? Chamui. I know in Kill Me, Heal Me, Jisung had to wear eyeliner and dress up as a high school girl whenever the personality switched. I wish we got a more bolder and fiercer, darker, edgier look for Torami. It was shot so beautifully. I'm sure they went to real physical locations to shoot this drama, but sometimes it looked like a CG whenever they were doing close-ups. I don't know if I'm the only one that's feeling this. I also really did not care about the main supporting characters or their romance. I don't think they were utilized and integrated in the story well. I liked the other supporting characters that had lesser screen time, like that producer who was constantly whiny, but also knew everything that was going on because everybody's just clueless and he's always told to shut up and was constantly observing what's going on. I was surprised that Tong-un was gone just like that the moment he went on that self-discovery trip to Buenos Aires. I think that's where he went. And I felt like he deserved more appearances in the drama. And like I said, I wish that we saw more of the healing process and actually saw the female lead facing the biggest shadow in her life, which is her mother, because she is the root and the cause of all her trauma, but we never got to see that resolution, which made it feel so unsatisfying when Chamui actually healed. And it was very unconvincing because there was a lack of that healing part. We never got to see her actually confronting her mother. Which leads me to another point. I don't actually get why they had to break up or weren't allowed to be together when she's healing and was trying to deal with all her problems. This was a rewatch. I needed something lighthearted and easy to watch because I was deep into embroidering. I don't know if I showed you. Hold on. Isn't that impressive? This is my first try. Like, Jesus Christ, that was good. Here's the second one that's still on pause, right? I'm still working on this one. Anyways, I knew this drama would never fail me. I knew I would like this no matter what, so I picked this drama to watch while I was doing something else. And I still loved it very much. They had great chemistry and they were such a good-looking couple. I realized the second time I'm watching this that I love the supporting characters as well. For the childhood connection part that led to their tragic backstory, I don't like those. Like I said with Love Between Lines, I hoped that they didn't have that, but for this drama, Han Ji-min's acting really convinced me. Her breakdown when she found out that the male lead is the child that the female lead's father saved, which eventually led to his death, and the reason of why she had to be lonely. I had to watch this because of the new season coming out. My god, this drama is so adorable. I really loved it. The first season They highlighted the character's quirks, like the male lead not elaborating his grand strategy, or the male lead's brother kind of knowing, accidentally finding out everybody's secret, but can't be bothered to share what that secret is when asked. And of course, Jingyi, which is the second lead, his habit of going through the windows instead of using an actual door. I really love those little details. I really loved each individual characters here, even the villains. They were so good. And of course, I liked the chemistry between the couples and just as a team in general. Each of them had their individual roles and purpose. I liked the cases. It's not new. I don't feel like being outsmarted by the writer. Ow, ow, ow. I'm wearing pants. Okay, I'm wearing pants. At least for me, it wasn't a stretch of logic, and they explained the cases really well. And I really love the reenactments they did and the animation explaining what the female lead's point of view and her analysis of the corpse is. It was so obviously low budget, but man, there were so many good points. Usually, if I see that it's low budget, I usually give up on it and just drop the drama. But this was so good that I stuck through. Oh my god, season 2. This had a higher budget and it definitely showed, like in their costumes and just the overall quality. They added money. But in the scenes where they required an army, it was definitely lacking. There were just a few people there. I really liked the balance of the cases and the sweet married life moments. I'm so happy. Hopefully we'll get like a third season where they have a child. There were definitely lesser individual cases because each case is tied to the big ones. I really enjoyed it. But I was a little bit disappointed that the little things that I loved about this drama and the characters, like their quirks, like I said, and their reenactments were reduced in the drama. Like the reenactment scenes were replaced by the flashback of what actually happened. No, what made the drama special was the two leads reenacting it, not the actual factual thing that happened. If they do make a third season, please bring it back. And I was surprised that they killed off like at least two characters that were in the previous season. When Wu Jian died, oh my god. It was sad. Like, why did they have to kill him off? It didn't make... why? I was also sad when they killed off Choo Choo's brother. I mean, he annoyed me in the beginning, but when they revealed why he was there and why he was relevant, I got it. I got over my annoyance. It was still sad to see them go. I get killing off one, but two is a little bit too much. And I've noticed, even though like most of the cast came back, some did not show up, like our male lead's mother, and who else did not show up? Oh, the second male lead's mother also did not show up, but they replaced Senior Jing, the second male lead's father. I know what he looked like because I just watched it before I watched this one, so I know it was a different actor. I found the male lead's brother, the general, so attractive this season. Have you seen his scenes, like where he's in an armor? Yeah, let me see if we can find photos of him. There should be photos somewhere. Damn, look. Oh my god, so attractive. And I really wasn't mad about the ending. I think they did it really, well, it was cliche, but I didn't really mind. It was good. So this is their remake of the Korean drama My Mister, which I've watched this. You don't see the rating, but I've watched this and it's a 10 out of 10 for me. I really like the writer. Another Miss O is one of my highly rewatched drama. I really loved My Liberation Notes too. And I'm really looking forward to this new one. Anyways, they made a Chinese version of My Mister. I was really excited for this one because of the male lead, Mark Chow. You should know him from 10 Miles of Peach Blossom. Here. Eternal Love, or better known as 10 Miles of Peach Blossom. And I've also liked The Ideal City, also in The Heart I dropped the drama. I would have liked it if the Korean original did not exist and there was no comparison to be made. I had problems with background noises and volumes of the OSTs being too loud in Chinese dramas. I've never had an actual problem with the OSTs, original soundtracks, that they chose and made for the drama. And this was the first one that the OSTs playing in the background while the emotional scene is at play really bothered me. Like, it took me out of the drama so much and just ruined the moment. It really did not suit the mood of the drama. I looked at some clips of the Korean original and compare them because I thought, oh, maybe I'm remembering it wrong because the last time I watched My Mister was probably 2 or 3 years ago, and maybe they just made a Chinese version of the original OST of the Korean version, but they did not. They chose to make their own, and it just solidified that the Korean original was just on a different level of craftsmanship. And I also did not like some of the effects that they did, like the blurry background things that they do. It should have been shot really simply and not do all the extra stuff. The Dream Maker. I usually don't watch these types of dramas. Like, I gave up on Like a Flowing River. I think that was the one with Wong Kai in it. But I've watched this because of Zhao Liying, my queen. My queen of C-drama actresses. I really liked the chemistry between the main cast and the chaos that ensued when trying to solve problems, but whatever they try to do, it brings more trouble their way. I really enjoyed it. It felt less of a propaganda than other dramas of this kind that I've watched. I thought that the male lead and the female lead, Zhao Liying and Hwang Xiaoming, were going to get together, but then that thought disappeared, but then that potential appeared again, and then it didn't. I don't know. Now moving on to the currently watching list. This one was very lighthearted and fun in the beginning, and I was really into the first couple of episodes, but as the week went on, I was just less and less interested. The main couple looks cute and they're very charming. The male second also was cute, but the rest of the cast, I feel, are so uninteresting, especially the teachers. And I think that is one of the key to having a really good drama. Good supporting cast and character actors. I might as well just finish this. There's nothing going on for me Monday and Tuesday anyways, except the other Chinese dramas. Okay, for this drama, I had a hard time getting into it first. And after watching the first few episodes, I forgot about it. And then when I remembered, there were like 4 episodes that aired, and then I binged it. And I was definitely hooked from episode 3 onwards. I really like Park Shin-hye's acting, though some scenes she overdoes it for me, but I feel like she found her thing now. I never got her when she was doing romance. I feel like now I do. After her other project, was it The Devil Judge? The Judge from Hell. Christ, The Devil Judge is a different drama. Judge from Hell, and now this, her current drama, Undercover Miss Hong. Now she really found a way to show off her charms effectively. She's really pretty, but sometimes her beauty was never captured in dramas until the last 2. I like that most of the characters are gray. There's not just good. Also, the female lead is in the gray area. And I'm still infuriated that I don't know who Yepi is, though. I usually get who that mystery person is in dramas because I've watched so much and you can see a pattern. So I know most of the time when I watch a drama who that mystery person is. But this one, I don't know. I don't know who he is. A lot of people are getting second male lead syndrome, but I am still rooting for the male lead. Aww. Chen Xingxu. Chen Xingxu. Chen Xingxu. My gosh. Another drama where he comes off very charming, but I gotta say, the turtleneck and the dress shirt and necktie doesn't really work for me, and he has a lot of those looks. Hold on. I liked this look. This is fine, but there are some questionable ones. Hold on, let me find it. And this is fine. The turtleneck and that suit jacket, that's fine. This was a little bit questionable when I saw on screen. It doesn't look bad in the picture. Yes, there's that turtleneck, that dress shirt, and I think there's supposed to be a tie in there. This one, there were more atrocious ones. This looks kind of fine, that kind of okay. Isn't this a little bit too much? And Wang Yuan really fit her role, and she does the comedic moments perfectly. Her rants to the system and her side comments where she's being really sarcastic was really well done, and she was so cute in this drama. Her loveliness just shined through even though she's being sarcastic and kind of ironic at the same time. I really like the supporting cast as well, down to the minor office NPCs. I think they were really entertaining. I wish that the color grading when they switched from the real world to this fictional 90s world were kind of different, because I don't think they used different color grading. It was just the same the whole drama, and I felt like the present real life and the fictional world felt kind of the same. I liked the second lead couple. They were so cute, and look at him with his buzz cut. He was also in love between lines, and he showed a completely different look. I wish that they gave more background of the female lead and her life in the real world to serve as like a motivation to go back, and I wish we had more background on the book to see what the base model of our fictional male lead character would look like, and we get the background of the story as well. I think we know what a typical 90s romance novel would like and what the cliches and the tropes are, but I feel like we needed more background on what this specific book was about and the ridiculous moments and also the key moments in the drama as well. Also, the OSTs, especially the really sad melodramatic one that played at the end. I did not like that. I wish they picked a different song. Okay, that's it for the dramas. Now moving on to other non-drama stuff. Culinary Class Wars Season 2. I really loved this season. I think it's better than the first season, and I think it's because I'm mostly familiar with the White Spoon contestants, and I had so many favorite characters or individuals that popped out. The new one I would mention is the chef Hu Deok-ju, the master and the legend himself. I think the scale and the planning was really better in this season. It was grander. It really felt epic. I feel like the winner's journey was much better in this season, and it was so satisfying to watch. In this season, it was sure nobody's gonna question it. And I can't wait for the new season. Apparently, it's going to be like a team/restaurant competition, which is different from the individual competition. I'm really curious to see how this production team is going to pull it off. This is a variety show that I'm currently watching called Punyango. It's available in YouTube. As you can see, there's English subtitles over here. I really love the first season, and this season is equally chaotic with no apps, no plans, and the cast members having clashing personalities. I think there's going to be, I don't know, if I'm going to guess, 6 episodes in total. So it's going to be over soon. There's 2 episodes out already. If you want to watch a lighthearted reality variety show, I really recommend this one. I think this is a 9 out of 10 for me. Moving on to the animes. This one I dropped. The art style is really not my style, really. The next one I completed. I really loved this one. I haven't really loved a shoujo anime in a while. As most shoujo anime goes, I found some scenes really cringy, but it is what it is. I also found the romance lacking. They really needed to develop it more, but what made me fall in love were the individual characters. And it's just 20 episodes, and the story ends too, so you don't have to wait for our next season. season. I'm currently watching this one. I'm still on the fence about it. I've never read the manga, and I know a lot of people loved it. I'm still on the fence about it. I'll still watch it though. The third season of Jujutsu Kaisen, we are so back. I am really enjoying it. I watch each episode twice because I have no background on this. Because obviously I'm an Annie only, as you can tell. The more I watch it, I enjoy it more and more. Next, it's a book, The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This is still a current read for me. I've been trying to read this since like the beginning of last year, and it's taking me forever to complete it. I'm still at chapter 9. I don't know if it's because I'm not a reader anymore or this book is not that interesting to me. I'll finish it someday and move on to another book. Next is an audiobook. I completed it, the whole 13 hours and 15 minutes. It was good in the beginning and it slowed down in the middle and it was really entertaining by the end. I really liked how the author foreshadowed a lot of things that would happen in the future, which gave a satisfying feeling to me. I really felt like if the author wanted to, this really could have been a great GL. And the foot binding, I searched it up because it was being mentioned a lot in the book and I wonder why it was ever a thing. I know we had a lot of weird beauty standards and that women would do anything for beauty. Let me search it up. Look, how is this ever a thing? And the pain they had to go through for these? No, thank God it's not a thing anymore. I think that's everything. I also want to show you this cool search bar. Like if you had too many dramas and you want to search for a specific one, you can type in the title and it will pop up Love Scout. Here. See? It pops up. But since there's only one space, you'll have to put in a lot. Like if you just put love, and there's a lot of dramas with love, and it will become an error because there's not enough space to populate the dashboard. Here, if you'll look at it, you can search the drama here. There's another search bar. Let me center that. Hold on. And then you search love. Oh, shit. Is it not working anymore? Shit. Hold on. Oh, Jesus. I'll fix that later. Anyways, so this is it. The only downside is, I'll say, if I want a genuine episode count, so I already completed my page in the 90s by the time of recording this, right? I have to put 4 because I've watched 4 episodes in the month of February. So if I look at this side by side, it doesn't seem like I completed it since I've only watched 4 episodes. To make the count more precise and exact, this is what I'll have to do. So yeah, that's it. I hope this works so I don't have to download a bunch of pictures and type in the individual drama titles, and I could just do this, which would save space in my computer and reduce the editing time. I know, with my background I look so vain. I think this is the best looking picture I have of myself. That's it for today. Goodbye, everybody.